Hello, I'm Shahana Hayden. For my capstone project, I've been working on a decentralized finance and banking app designed specifically for farmers. The goal is to give them one platform where they can manage um, financing a bank and harvest details and farming operations without relying on traditional banks and paperwork. I first started with Google Stitch to design the overall visual layout of the app, so like the login, um, dashboards, and they also provide templates that make it easy to sketch out, those login screens, dashboards, and user flows. I created the login page and here, and the main dashboard here in Google Stitch, and just how I wanted the app. So I added the titles with DeFi microloans, crop insurance, and it took it from there. So once the design was ready, I moved into Google AI Studio to build the front end. So Google AI Studio just helps you build the front end. You can deploy it to Google Cloud, where you can make your Google Cloud account. And once you make your account, you'll get free credits, $300 worth, to keep track of your APIs and just overall making sure everything is running clearly with no errors. So you'll be able to use it in the back end and full stack there. And then Google AI Studio, so it basically just takes prompts. So I said I'm using ChainGPT for generating contracts and decentralized transactions. Can you give me a knowledge base so I can get an API key? And then, so that's how I was able to configure Google Blockchain AI feature for their transacting through tokens and through their wallet. So I've been building this over time, so it's got a lot of cool features added to it. So this is their wallet. They'll be able to create their wallet, swap their tokens for like wheat that they have with other potential farmers who also are in this network, or retailers who also can be onboarded in this network, and they can send to global suppliers. You can also see the currency exchange amounts and in your transaction history. It also breaks down the fees, network fee, tokenization fee, and gas fees through the Ethereum virtual machine. You can also see real-time pricing when they want to tokenize one of their harvests. And these are all the different crops I add. Of course, you can add more over time, like fruit or wherever the farmer's harvest is it's not currently here. You can ask Gemini to add that. And the more specific I was in my prompts, the better it was, more attuned to what my idea was. It came out better, so I didn't have to edit anything really later. I was able to build them a analytical dashboard where they could see their financials over time, any opportunities, and net worth, debt ratios that they've done with their harvests, and other cash flows. I've also added, here's the ChainGPT feature, where they can control their smart contracts for different harvests. So this can be used for quality control on their harvest. So if just to make sure that it's attuned to the supplier standards or FDA rules on their harvest so they can be able to sell at the highest quality to their suppliers. This will keep them up to date with like different weather. They can set up in the onboarding process. We can teach them how to set up their rules for their different harvests on how they're supposed to be attuned with certain types of weather. And so if it's anything different than that standard for that harvest and the weather, then say it's like 15 degrees warmer than usual, then this will notify the farmer that. They can also see escrow for their transactions here, like different transactions in transit, pending, history. They can also apply for DeFi microloans the more they're transacting through the app. They can kind of build their liquidity, collateral, and history, trust with HarvestFi, and they can apply for loans and keep track of their loans here. They can also keep track of their insurance through HarvestFi with their policy limits, coverages. They can file a claim and then tokenize here. And they also can see their profile, edit anything here, keep track of their ethical framework. I literally asked Gemini, can you build an ethical framework? And it came up with these core values: sustainability, social equity, responsible AI, societal impact, and also just risk. So they can stay educated on like risk of transacting through a DeFi platform. And of course their wallet here. And you can of course add different suggestions over time for different features. It says here I can implement filtering, sorting, add back to wallet tabs, enhance wallet dashboard, refine send funds user experience. And so I hope this helps.